I'm here with Marc Buoniconti. Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How are you tonight?
All right, good. A lot of people saying a lot of nice, good things about you and your outreach here. Congratulations to you.
Well, tonight's a great night. 26 years we've been here at the Waldorf Astoria, raising money for the Buoniconti Fund to support spinal cord injury research at the Miami Project, which is the most comprehensive spinal research center in the world, and with one goal only, and that's to cure paralysis.
And you've stayed on that. Now, running a foundation, tough times, need money to make these things happen. Medicine and doctors' bills are not an inexpensive outreach.
Sure.
Where was it that kept you going?
Well, first, I think what kept me going is the love of my family and friends who never gave up on me and supported me ever since my injury, and really rallied behind my injury to raise money and awareness. When you have celebrities like Ernie Els, Dawson, Harry Carson, just to name a few, Jerry Rice, Coach Don Shula. I mean, with people like that in your corner, how do you go wrong? So they motivate me every day to get up out of my bed, and I know that I have one thing to do, and that's to raise money and get everybody out of these wheelchairs.
Well, why do I think that? If we put all these guys together, there is no sport that we're going to win.
Let me tell you, over the 26 years, our Hall of Fame list is deep. We got a lot of depth on that list, and we could probably compete with anybody.
You need an alumni competition.
Yeah, that would be great. No, we've been very lucky.
Yeah,
I'm very fortunate to have the support of all these great athletes. Because these athletes know. I mean, they're just 1 second away from being paralyzed. I mean, because paralysis does not discriminate. And when you're that physical, and then when you lose that mobility, I mean, especially athletes who rely on their body, they really can, understand what that's like, and so they're happy to support us. What
do you say to the families who have somebody with a spinal cord problem?
That's one of the most difficult things of my job, is having to talk to people about spinal cord injuries and their families and loved ones, and just rest assured that we're working so hard every day to find a cure, and anything that they can do, anybody can help us, because every dollar counts, and everybody who helps can certainly make a difference in curing one of the most, incredible problems facing medical research today.
And how about for the world of medicine? Because our show goes throughout the world.
Sure.
So if somebody has some new information, get in touch with you guys. Get in touch with this hospital is it a hospital in Florida?
Yeah.
Where should they go?
They should go to the MiamiProject.org. 1-888-543-WALK is where we have our number. Actually, sorry, we got it. Wrong one. Let me give you another number.
That's okay.
So they can contact the MiamiProject.org or 1-888-STAND-UP, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to stand up out of these wheelchairs, and people can help us by logging on. That'd be great.
Okay, because medicine is changing. Every day, potentially, there is a new way that somebody figured out. It's like a Rube Goldberg thing. Sometimes just a mistake ends up being the savior.
The Miami Project has over 200 scientists from all over the world, and scientists come and visit all the time. 6 months to a year, they come and train, and we train the best and brightest scientists, and certainly we encourage people to get involved, because you never know when that one bit of spontaneity could come out and maybe make the difference in curing paralysis.
Beautiful. Last quick question. What's good news for you, Marc?
Good news for me is tonight going to raise millions of dollars for research.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, and thanks for your tenacity and sticking in here with this.
My brother.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here with Nick Buoniconti. Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great night. We have so many great celebrities here, and we sold out the Waldorf, so it's a great night, great fundraising for the research that we're doing.
You're passionate about this?
Oh, well, when you have a son who's been in a wheelchair for 26 years, and all he did is make a tackle, and before his arm hit the ground, he was paralyzed. Yes, I have a real passion, because I like to see him somewhere along the line have some function restored to his limbs, so he can, maybe brush his teeth, give me a hug, or hug his girlfriend. I mean, it's just, it would be great.
You personally, how about your physical condition? I mean, you're a superstar in the world of football yourself. I think you've got rings. You got all kinds of things.
I got rings, but I had. There's no free lunches. I had 2 hips replaced. I've got a shoulder that doesn't function real well, and a hand that doesn't. But something. considering 15 years in the NFL, I think I came out pretty well.
Do you think that there's, since you're so involved with the science of what we're talking about here, do you think that there's anything that somebody could do to prepare for something like this?
Well, I think what you have to do is you number one, got to be cognizant of the fact that it's a violent game. And I think they really have to enforce the rules that they shouldn't be able to have helmet-on-helmet tackles, and people really should learn how to tackle better. And the equipment has to improve. And there are some people out here now who have designed some new equipment. A company called Zenith that I'm really enthralled about. I think they have a helmet that is going to really save a lot of concussions, a lot of really serious injuries.
I asked Mark, how does somebody deal with the situation when something like this occurs? Not only, of course, football, all sports, any sport. You come out of the ocean and a big wave hits you in the back, and you're in trouble. So, how does a family? Because you've lived this, how do you deal with it? How does your family deal with it?
You've got a son in a wheelchair, and you've got a son who is initially dying, and you look for support from your family, you look for support from your friends, and you try to encourage my son Mark. You just try to encourage him and tell him that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to try to make it happen.
And did you see and hear from friends that didn't necessarily you thought were on that same page of loving you and loving him, and that came to the table?
Well, this Sports Legends dinner, for example, was a friend of mine, Jack Schneider, who said, "Why don't we have a fundraising dinner in New York?" Well, we did, and we raised almost $85 million at this dinner. So over the period of years, we've raised $85 million, and tonight we'll raise almost $10 million. So it's so the answer is yes. People have come out, they supported us, but you got to be credible, and you got to have good research, and you got to have a scientific story that holds up.
And everybody connected to it has to be, in essence, good news. Has to be a positive person with a real desire to cure.
Well, Dr. Barth Green, early on, when someone told my son Mark, a nurse told my son Mark that he never would breathe on his own, that he'll always have to have a respirator, Dr. Green fired the nurse and called everybody on the floor into his office and said, anybody who's negative, you could get off this floor, because either that or I'm going to fire you. Either you're positive or get off the floor.
Good news broadcast. There it is. Good news for you. What is good news for you?
Good news for me is in the near future seeing my son have use of his hands.
And that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.